Da, 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 da. Oh, and I kind of pull it sometimes. Yep. Hello and welcome back to Good Germs Off-Road Adventures. Y'all are probably wondering what I'm doing with the old Chicken Hawk back here. Well, just like the thumbnail suggests, we've got to make some frame repairs. And while we're at it, we're going to put a new cargo box on it. Stick around. Well, let's get started talking about the frame first. Well, you might remember from the review I did of the little quad what I'm on about. Back here on this piece of frame right here, you can see there's a bit of a crack right there and a bit of a weld. That weld has been on that crack since somewhere around about 2013 or 14 or somewhere in there. And I think it's about time we do something to take care of that. Well, let's get started with just tearing this thing down. I'm hoping it's not too difficult. Don't know. Never done it before. I don't really know if there's a procedure to taking these things apart. I think we should start by taking out these sway bar end links. Don't know if we need to take the shocks off. Probably just the top. Probably don't have to take the bottom. Just take the top and swing it out. That's probably fine. And then it looks from there like we have 4 bolts. 2 there, 1 here. There's 1 on the front here. And it should come out, I think. And then we'll have to disassemble the sway bar out of the mount here. And then reassemble for the new one. I guess we just get started. Well, that's got some sauce on it. Maybe we should squirt some jalebi in there. All right, so I just went ahead and took the wheels and tires off and pulled the rear shocks out, and that makes this a lot easier. Let's just go ahead and pull this piece of frame out and see what we're looking at. I guess there it is. And here's our crack with the weld. I mean, the weld's pretty good, but I think I just want to have, you know, a new piece of frame sitting in here. Okay, so now that we've got the old one out, we're going to go ahead and get ready to put the new one in. I didn't actually buy brand new. You can go ahead and buy a brand new part, and I think they're somewhere between $150 and maybe $200. I don't really know, but I figured You know, this quad, she's a 2006. If I can find a good used part, why not put that on it? So that's exactly what I did. So this is the part right here. And before I get to talking about the part, I want to talk about the place I picked it up from. So I'm not at all afraid to shop for used parts on the eBay website. And there's a particular store on there called Power Sports Nation, as you may have saw by that box. Now, before I go any further, I want to make it perfectly clear, Power Sports Nation did not sponsor this video in any way. They did not supply the part for free. I went ahead and paid for it like you normally would on the eBay website. I just really like this eBay store. So here's the replacement part. I did go ahead and clean it already. That's the one thing they don't do, is they don't clean everything for you, but you know, they're good value. You don't want them to charge you more, do you? Anyway, so I went ahead and cleaned it up. Just some simple green. There was nothing too wrong with it, but you can see it is in perfect condition. And I got a super good deal on this just by going on to the, eBay website. Having said all of that, let's go ahead and get the old one broken down and sway bar installed on the replacement. Okay, so this looks very simply like we just need to undo these 4 bolts and nuts, and then we can pop the sway bar, off this and install it in this one. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay. Once I figure out how to get in here, and these are 13 millimeter right here. Not sure if you're interested in that. Okay, let's see how difficult this is to get. Oh, it's not difficult at all. Okay, and that's it. This is the old bit with the nasty crack right here. Okay, off you go. Now, I'd kind of like to lube this up a little bit. Before I just sit this back in here. And I know it's just going to sit in here like this. But like I said, I'd kind of like to put some lube on that before I did that. It looks like the bushings don't turn in the metal, in the frame, but this turns inside the bushings. So let's go ahead and let's get some grease on it. Should we put some grease here too? I don't think so. Like I said, I don't think those turn. But grease here can't hurt, in my mind. And now that I'm looking at this, maybe we should clean this up a little bit. Looks a little dirty. Probably should be replacing these bushings while I'm at it, but I didn't think that far ahead. So we're not doing that. Just going to clean them up. I don't think they were loose, so we'll just clean them up and we'll say that we did it. Sure. Okay. So get a little bit. We don't need a lot. We just want to put some, just a little coating. That's way too much. Okay. I don't know if you're supposed to do this or not, but I'm doing it. In my mind, anywhere a bushing is going to rub on metal, it should be lubricated. So that's what we're doing. A little bit more on that. There we go. Put the lid back on. Perfect. Okay, so I guess guess we'll just go ahead and set this back in here, put these back on. And let's just set this in there. That's how that goes. It's not fancy, you know, it's not complicated, which makes me happy. And then these just, you know, these just go back on here. That's pretty much that. Tip it back like this. Why not? Put these back on. Yeah, all right, let's just maybe not put it on all the way mode. All right, let's just run them in. And that should do it. Okay. So let's go ahead and put this replacement bit, you know, back in there. Thread count looks pretty similar on both sides. Best I can tell anyway, with these old eyes. I think this one needs a little bit more to be even. Okay, I think that's good. Yeah, let's put the tires back on and set it down. So now that we've replaced the frame bits on the little Chicken Hawk there, let's talk cargo boxes. So I like the Polaris, you know, the factory OEM Polaris cargo boxes a whole lot because they use the lock and ride, they fit, they look nice. They may not be as big as some of the other aftermarket brands like the Quad Boss. You may have seen that on the big 500. We have that big Quad Boss. We still have that big unit. I like the factory OEM Polaris boxes. And they're really hard to find for some of these older rigs, especially the old Polaris Hawkeyes. But don't ever give up if you're looking for something. Again, on the eBay website, I found this. This is a brand new old stock. Is that what that is? NOS? Anyway, it's a brand new factory Polaris cargo box for a Polaris Hawkeye. And I've been watching these for a while and I haven't been able to find one for the last 2 years. Finally, the other day I was on eBay again and I happened to see a couple of, you know, places that had these. And I jumped on it. Got a screaming deal on this one. It did not come from Power Sports Nation. They don't seem to have any. It came from another place. Don't remember the name. That's okay. I'm really excited. Now you can tell it's not really all that big, but it is the factory unit. I mean, I love that. Anyway, let's open it up and see what's in here. Okay. Well, not a lot. The mounting hardware with some instructions. And well, that's it. Well, let's go ahead and see if we can understand on these instructions here. Let's set this back over here. Need a new blade because that was dull. Okay, so Interesting, we've got an L bracket, a pin, a plastic bushing, there's a little bolt, split washer, there's a little nut. Here's a lever thing. It's a bigger nut. There's another little bolt. There's a strange screw. There's a rubber bushing. Another washer. Another washer. And another washer, but this time it's plastic. Now, normally I'd throw the instructions just over there somewhere, but I need to understand how this works. It says, it doesn't tell you how to do it, it just tells you the order in which. So this goes like that, and this goes in here. Okay, well, let's start from the bottom. So we're going to put this nut, we're just going to set it on there, and then this metal washer, let's see, number 7. Number 7 is rondelle fender. Rondelle fender. You know what? I think these are the French instructions. Oh, here we go. Here's the English. Fender washer. Well, what's number 9? Black nylon washer. Okay, so we do this washer, and then we do number 8, compression spacer. Yep. And then we do number 6, which is nylon spacer. Okay. And then we put it in here. And then we do the plastic spacer. And then we take this thing and we then put the screw, well, it goes in the little hole, and then we put the screw. Oh, come on now. My fingers are too big for this. Okay. Shit. Okay. Well, where did the little... Okay. I've lost the little... Oh, wait, there it is. I found it. Thought this was gone forever. Does it even fit in the hole? Yeah, it does. Okay. So line this up to the little hole. Let's put it this way. Line this up to the little hole. I said line this up to the little hole. Why aren't you... My hand... Come on now. Oh, there we go. Lined up to the little hole. Okay. Put the little washer, not washer, but the little lock nut, nylon lock nut on there. And that's how that goes. And then this just, bolts to the side of the, the box there. Well, I'm going to go ahead and tighten this up, find out what size that is and what these are, and we'll do the other one real quick. Okay, well, I'm pleasantly surprised to see that you can just tighten this little screw because the nut sits on a flat thing right there. And this is on the part that, pivots to lock it down. So we just tighten that screw up until we're happy with it. We just want to make sure we get some threads poking out the back side, but we don't want it so tight that it won't move. Okay, and then I did check the size. I'm super happy we have American sizes again. So this bottom one, 1/2 inch. And then these little screws here, these are 7/16. Okay, so let's set those to the side. We'll put this over there, and we'll do the next one. Okay, now ideally, the box is just going to set right there. Let's see how this lines up. So this should just sit on here. Let's move this out of the way. There's a couple of little holes here that are threaded. Let's get them finger tight only, not even finger tight, just on there. Well, how do I, oh, drop that. That came apart, and that's fine. Okay. I just can't find, there, nope. Go in the hole. There it goes. Okay, and this is adjustable. Not sure why. That's okay. Let's do the other side real quick. Hello there. Okay. Didn't tighten those up, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to set this down. And you can see that this is now sitting in them lock and ride holes, as they call it. And I'm not going to snug them, I'm just going to lock it so it takes the play out. And then I'm going to make sure it feels like we're even side to side. It kind of does. Maybe I should put a little bit more juice on these lock and ride things. I'll show you what I mean by that. So I'm just going to tighten this up a little bit. These don't need a lot. We'll start with just a little bit just to get it to where we can mount it. And then after we're all done, then we'll do them up. Okay, get it in the holes. Let's lock them down. Okay, of course it's loose because we have to tighten the things. We want this to be even, and we want those brackets to be straight. That looks pretty good. So now we just tighten them. Oh, just drop that. Okay. Let's get a little bit of thread showing, that may be too much. And you can see I'm using a ratcheting wrench. And you know, you can buy these at any store that sells them. Okay. Let's see how that looks. Oh. Indeed. It's got a little rattle to it, and I just think that's because it's only held on by, one lock and ride clamp at each side, but I am not mad at it. It looks proper. I can open it, and I now have a boot that's big enough for things. Indeed. Well, I think that's going to do it for today. My hat is crooked. Why is it crooked? My hats are always crooked. Anyway, like I was trying to say before my crooked hat interrupted me, thank you all for hanging out with me today. I really appreciate it. If you're watching this here video and you're not yet subscribed, I would really appreciate it if you do that. Just click the button there. It doesn't cost anything and it's easy to do. Anyway, I'd just like to say thank you all for watching again, and I guess ride safe, and we'll see you later.